Hello Scorpio! Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And that way you won't miss any of the weekly tarot readings that we do for your sun, moon, and your rising sign. So let's just get into it. Scorpio, what is it that you need to know? What is the message that's coming through for you for this coming week? What is the energy? What is the reading? First card today. Ooh, the Three of Wands. All right, we don't see that very often as the first card in our spread, but we're gonna lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread, and that is going to include this mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, whatever you want to call it. We are not going to reveal that until the very end, so I encourage you to stick around to the end of the video. You can jump ahead if you want. There are chapters in the video, timestamps or whatever, but we're going to see if that will tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end. All right, so let's see what kind of energy. We have a lot of fiery energy, a lot of active energy, right? A lot of bright red and orange cards. It really seems like there's a lot going on, a lot of energy around you, a lot of like excitement, a lot of change perhaps, but really just a lot of activity, right? A lot of active energy. And I think some of the idea here this week is going to be to tame some of this active energy, put it to good use, don't let it overwhelm you, okay? So the first thing that we see is this Three of Wands. Now the keyword for this card is virtue. This is like, you're staying true to yourself, you're staying true to your beliefs, you're really holding fast to the path that you're on, right? You have a real strength of will about you, where you're not going to really deviate from your plan. You're not going to deviate from those, core beliefs, from whatever it is that you're holding on to. You have a tremendous resolve to stick to it, to see it through, okay? And, looking at some of these other cards, we've got a lot of 1, 2, 3. Well, we've got 3 court cards. We've got a couple of major arcana. So right now it's a little bit difficult to pin down exactly where this energy is manifesting mostly. I think you're feeling it as a general kind of overall, maybe anxiety, maybe a little bit of a hectic or chaotic kind of energy this week, right? I feel like things are really starting to happen and you're starting to feel some of that excitement, some of that rush and adrenaline about it, okay? And I see, now we're going to see if we can put this Three of Wands into a little bit of context, because right now it's really hard, like I said, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where this energy is coming from, where it's headed, what is the kind of the situation around it. So we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of that first, using the recent past, this Four of Discs. I think in the recent past you have, you've quite recently committed to some kind of new either employment or career path, or a new goal in terms of your physical life. Okay, so this could be something like you've committed to a fitness, a wellness, a workout routine, something like that. And that is where we're seeing this Three of Wands energy, where you're really committed to it. You are, you have a strong resolve, right? And you're not going to let anything kind of push you off of that path. Now, this Four of Discs could be the career path. It could be that you've recently taken a new job or a new promotion, or you've had some sort of new responsibilities that maybe gave you a bump in pay, but gave you a bump in work to do also, right? And so it's really taking a lot of commitment on your part to stay in that mode, that hardworking, committed, very energetic, very enthusiastic, very ambitious kind of energy. So wherever this Four of Discs is taking place, could be fitness, could be finances, could be health or wealth, I think there's something new going on there that is, it is a new commitment to this stable foundation, right? With the Four of Swords, not the Four of Swords, we don't have the Four of Swords. And indeed, the swords that we do have, I'm not too happy about. We'll get to that in a minute though. But for this Four of Discs, this is really about the stability and the security in that physical realm, either the finances or the health and well-being kind of aspect of your life. I think there's been a new commitment there. I think you're working on something very definite that is leading to an increase in your kind of, maybe job security, maybe your health, maybe your long-term goals, in either of those areas. But it's something that's kind of a recent commitment, and it's something that you're really committed to, something that you feel very strongly about. It's not just on a whim. It's not just, somebody offered you a job and you just decided to take it. I think it's something that you really care about, something that really harmonizes with who you are as a person, something that you feel very strongly about, right? And I think that's where this energy is manifesting. And now I also see this adjustment or justice card at the top of the spread on the path of the dove here. So that's telling me that this whole thing is kind of, in a nutshell, in one kind of nice little capsule, is related to this commitment that you've made, right? You've either signed a contract or you've taken an oath just with yourself, with your higher powers. You've committed to this path that you're on. And again, this is a path that really is a reflection of who you are as a person and what you're all about. Maybe you feel like this is kind of your purpose right now, is to do this work. And this work, again, is to build up this foundation either of health or of wealth, fitness or finances. Right? So these three cards kind of go together, and this is telling me a little bit about where this energy is manifesting this week. And I think it really is in your commitment, your bond, your agreement, or your contract or your oath to take care of this work and to commit yourself to this work. Okay. And now, the next card that we see, this is down beneath the surface. This is one of those swords that I was, this one I like. There's another one here on the path of the serpent that I'm not too happy about. But for this Ace of Swords, this is a good one. This is down beneath the surface. I think this really does reflect your commitment. It reflects this Three of Wands, this, you're kind of like expressing your purpose and who you are. It's kind of like your external path, your external reality is very much in sync or in harmony with what you feel is your purpose, what you feel you should be doing, right? It's really a fulfilling experience. You feel like you're really expressing yourself, right? Expressing your higher energies. Now with this Ace of Swords down beneath the surface, this is kind of maybe what this whole thing is resting on, and this is really that singular idea. This is that mental focus. This is that mental commitment. This is like your daily affirmation, your daily kind of mantra that keeps you on this path, keeps you committed to this. This is the reason why you need to establish this safety, security, stability, fitness, or finances, right? This is kind of that one reason, that one thing that's in the back of your mind that's always there. That is your reason and your purpose for doing this work, right? And this could be anything. This could be a responsibility to your family. This could be something that you've committed to in the past. This could be just that one idea, that one singular purpose, your like unified goal, right? That you use as the justification for any action that you take. So whatever decisions you make in your life, you kind of reflect back on this one thing and say, is it serving my purpose? Is this choice, this decision, this action, is this going to help get me to my goal? Right? I think that's what you ask yourself when you make these kinds of decisions. And so I really think that you're on a great path. On the path of the dove here, it really looks like you're using this excitement, this enthusiasm, this ambition, this fiery energy to go after your goal, to really work toward this safety, security, stability, right, in the domain of your health or your wealth. It could be, a living situation, but I think more in terms of career or finances is kind of where my mind is going with that, right? But it could be in terms of a health commitment too, and like a wellness, fitness routine. But either way, you're working towards that goal. You've made a very strong commitment, almost a legally binding commitment to it. And it's all for this one thing. It's all for this one purpose. and this could literally be anything. If this is resonating with you, maybe leave me a comment. Let me know what this one thing is for you. What is that highest goal, that highest, like your reason for doing all of this work every day? What is this one thing for you? What is this one idea, this one, this one purpose, this one energy, this one like magical force or belief, right? This one unified thought that is your reason for getting out of bed in the morning, your reason for going to work, your reason for going on that jog or hitting the gym, or for, balancing your budget, for putting in a little bit of extra effort at work, whatever the situation is. What is that one reason for you? And I think that is really what all of this energy rests on. Now, what is the message that's coming through for this week? Okay, we see kind of what's going on, and I think this is really great energy. I really do. I think that this is really productive. You're really, really taking this a long way. It has the potential to really be wonderful. We see the Eight of Discs showing up in the midst of all of this wonderful energy that we see here, this great commitment, this effort and ambition, right? And with the Eight of Discs, I'm feeling like you've got to keep it in check a little bit. You don't want to get carried away, right? If you let all of this, and especially on the path of the Serpent here, we see a lot of this active energy. And I feel like beneath the surface, like really inside of you, you're feeling this heat and this fire that's just bubbling up. It's just like fighting to get out, and it's on the verge of just kind of exploding. And I think the message really is you've got to try to contain that a little bit. You've got to slow down. You've got to put your efforts into the details. You got to go slow and cautiously, day by day, maybe hour by hour. Do things the right way. Do things in a calm, mellow, peaceful, almost a detached way, right? It's almost like you want to keep your mind on this goal or this purpose, right, that you have for going toward your goal. But you want to kind of, you don't want to obsess over it. So this is still there, but it's going to just be beneath the surface, right? It's still there. Don't obsess over it. Rather, make the effort to do the work carefully, calmly, like I need to calm down during these readings, right? Let's take it slow. Let's go card by card, detail by detail, moment to moment. What is the best action that I can take? What is the best decision that I can make right now? What is my best effort right now at this moment that will help get me to my goal? But I'm going to do it in a calm way. I'm going to have some peace and some calm, a little bit of tranquility, right? That word tranquility has been coming up a lot for me lately because I feel lately in my life I don't have enough of it, And I really enjoy just the peace and the calm, the quiet, the kind of meditative atmosphere, even if I'm not, officially meditating, and I'm just hanging out and breathing, right? Which I think is a form of meditation for sure. But I think that's what this card is talking about. Just take it easy a little bit. Calm down. Get this active energy under control, right? Don't obsess over things. Take it slow and cautiously because you really want all of this effort to grow into this amazing, fruitful, abundant plant or crop, right? You really want it to be fruitful. If you try to rush it, you're either going to have a small yield or you're going to kind of harm the plant altogether and it's going to stop growing, right? So you got to go slow. You got to give it just what it needs at the right time. You got to pay attention to the signs that are coming back at you from it, right? And you've got to allow it to grow. You've got to help it along. Try to speed it up a little bit. Give it what it needs and encourage it to grow faster and larger, more abundant. But don't rush it. And certainly don't overdo it. Don't overwater it. Don't scorch it with too much sun or heat. But don't underwater it either, right? I mean, it's really a delicate thing. Now, I don't have much of a green thumb, but I'm learning, right? I'm starting to learn that, it is possible to overwater your plants. I never thought that was possible. I would just keep giving it water. Didn't like that. So we gotta rein it in. We gotta take it slow. And by doing things that way, by really nurturing, really caring for it, really listening to what it's telling you. And I'm not just talking about your house plants, right, or your garden. But this situation, these efforts that you're putting in to achieve this goal in the physical realm, this success, this stability, this security, right? You've got to take it slow. You got to do things right. You have all of this fiery, active energy. You've got to take it slow, stay calm. Don't let it overtake you, right? This energy, this fire element can easily overwhelm, and it will end up just burning everything to the ground. So it's got to be maintained. It's got to be under control. Now, what we see in the immediate future is this Prince of Cups. Now, this is basically representing you. And I think that this is, in the future, you in that state of containing that fiery element, right? I think it really is you able to use this fiery energy and all of this excitement and ambition and activity, really use it in a subtle way to bring you calmly and steadily to your goal, right? Like an ocean wave that's just, it's headed to shore, it's going that way. It's not in a hurry, it's not rushing, it's full of power and force, right? And energy and purpose. But it's not worried about getting there because it knows where it's going. It knows it's going to get there. But it's got that force and that strength. And I think with this Prince of Cups, this is kind of, it's a lot of this energy beneath the surface. But on the outside, you're friendly, you're calm, you're balanced, you're tranquil, right? And I think this is very important because otherwise I feel like you have a tendency to allow this fiery energy to overwhelm you, and you get maybe agitated, anxious, nervous, frustrated. And that's when you start making mistakes or getting burnt out, right? So I think this is a really important card for the immediate future. It's just try to get a hold on all of this excitement. You know, it's like, that child that doesn't want to go to bed or can't sleep that night because it's Christmas morning. It's Christmas Eve, right? And they can't get to sleep. They're just too excited. They're too excited to get things done, right? And I think that there's a lot of that. And I guess because we're going into the holiday season, that metaphor seemed more appropriate in my head probably than it is. But you get the idea. I think it's that excitement that is going to cause more problems than actually do us any good. So in the immediate future, this is the idea. Stay calm and tranquil on the outside. Stay friendly. Stay hardworking. Stay moving. Do the right things. Make the right decisions. But keep your head about you. Because inside, I know, is all of this excitement, all of this energy. Okay. Now let's move over to the path of the Serpent, because we see some more of this active energy. This is really like what's beneath the surface, I think. This is kind of the more subjective aspect of it. The path of the Dove, this is kind of what was going on. Some nice tips or insights for you of how to handle it. This is what you're feeling, I think. The first card, your headspace, this is your general energy right now. This is all fire. This is the Princess of Wands. This is that fiery energy that is, on the one hand, fearless, courageous, brave, not worried about anything. Nothing intimidates you. Nothing is really going to get in your way. You've got this fearless energy and ambition, right? And that's great. At the same time, this is the Princess of Wands, so still very young, immature fire energy. This is fiery energy that could easily set fire to the drapes or the carpet or the rug or the sofa or the mattress. Just little embers here and there that are going to create a really dangerous blaze, right? Not literally. But it has the potential, this nervous, kind of hectic, anxious energy, this fiery energy, has the potential to get out of hand. And it's that excitement, it's that nervousness where we start making little mistakes, right? Or we get too confident, too fearless, too brave, that we kind of take some missteps. We take the wrong path, make the wrong decision. So this fiery energy, this ambition, this courage and bravery, this enthusiasm, this fiery spirit is still a very young and immature energy in you. So you can't just let it loose all at once. You've got to learn how to utilize it. Okay? And that's what I'm feeling here with this Princess of Wands, that it's still this young energy. It needs some experience. It needs some growth. It needs to be taught, right? It needs to kind of learn how to handle itself. But I think that all of this fiery energy is what is coming out in this Three of Wands, right? It's like we have all this fiery energy beneath the surface in the subjective realm, and it's starting to kind of pop out into the external world. You're starting to feel it now. You've got this conviction. You're doing your will. You're fulfilling your purpose. You're really harmonizing with what you're doing, the path that you're on, and you're just so excited now because you're doing what you love. You're doing what you know you're meant to be doing. And you see the goals in sight. You've committed to it. You have your purpose. And then we've got these two, really both of these, that are saying, whoa, okay. You've got this like burst of fire energy. You got to keep it under control. Keep it under control. Keep it balanced. Maintain that composure, I think, is important. The next card that we see on the path of the Serpent is in relation to your associations with other people. This is how you're communicating with others. This is the Ten of Swords. This is, it might be some of this fiery energy that other people are really starting to notice. Like it could be that you're just so excited, you get so ramped up. And if you're a fan of this channel, you know that sometimes this happens to me. I get so excited, so enthusiastic. I start talking faster. I start tripping over my words and stuttering. And it gets kind of crazy. Because this fiery energy, this excitement is coming out too fast, too strongly. And it's affecting the way I'm communicating with other people. Because I'm not utilizing this composure, this tranquility, taking a breath so that we can communicate. So it's affecting the way that you're relating to other people. And they're starting to notice all of this energy about you, this kind of nervous energy almost, that is affecting the way you're communicating. It's affecting your interactions with people. And they're starting to notice that maybe you're just getting a little bit over enthusiastic. You're just getting really jazzed up about stuff, but you just kind of start saying one thing and then say another thing, or maybe you don't finish a full idea when you're onto something else. And it's because you have all of this motivation, all of this fiery ambition, this enthusiasm. And it really is just kind of pouring out of you. It's exploding out of you. And that's why I think the cards today are saying, hey, let's bring it back. Let's calm down. Let's have a little bit more composure, a little bit more tranquility. And the Prince of Cups is the perfect example of that. The Prince of Cups, looking at this person from the outside, you would think they're just all, suit and tie, very, very composed, very calm. Nothing gets them stirred up. Nothing bothers them. Nothing upsets them in any way. They're not easily moved by anything. They're just very almost stoic, right? But beneath the surface is all of this active fire energy. I mean, just looking at looking at the cards that we've already been over, I mean, just look at that energy. Just by looking at this, you see these oranges, reds, yellows. It's just really, really fiery, active. And even in the card that is telling you to mellow out, we see those oranges, those reds, the yellows, because that's the fiery energy. That is the sunlight that is going to grow this thing, lead you to your goal, lead you to this abundance and success and this fruitfulness. But only if it is the right amount, the right proportion at the right time, directed to the right objects, right? You've got to still be in control of this. And now the next card that we see on the path of the Serpent is another court card. This is a Prince of Wands. This might be another person involved here. This is in the position of your fears, worries, concerns, something that you have to overcome on this path, right? This is kind of what the obstacle that's in your way this week. And if this is another person, this could be someone who's about the same age as you. I think maybe they're a fire sign, maybe. But I think more than that, they have this energy and ambition and enthusiasm and this like unstoppable force and power and just inexhaustible energy. And this could be someone like a coworker, could be a friend of yours, a family member. But you're looking at that person and you're seeing how they're using their fire energy. And it's starting to kind of bring that out of you. So it's almost now like you're in a competition with this person, where it feels like you have separate goals, separate lives, but you just see that this person is like dominating and just kicking ass, and they're just all fire all the time, right? And so that is, I think, in subtle ways or maybe some unconscious ways, bringing that out of you a little bit more. And it's almost like you're feeding off that person's energy or what you perceive that person to be all about, right? It looks like they're all fire all the time. They're always busy. They're always doing something. They're always active. They're always up. They're always excited. They're always enthusiastic, right? But it's impossible to sustain that. So this is just what you're perceiving in this person. But I think the obstacle here is to try to get over this idea that you have to somehow be equal to that energy, right? That it is sort of a competition. And if you're not living up to what this person's capable of, then somehow you're not as good or as successful. But again, I think this is all appearances. I think maybe when you see this person, yeah, they're up and they're enthusiastic and they're just jazzed and kicking ass. But I guarantee that's not how they are 24/7, right? So I think the obstacle this week is to stop comparing yourself to other people who you see have this enthusiasm, this ambition, this excitement, right? Going after their goals, reaching their achievements and their goals and stuff. I think you got to stop comparing yourself to these people or to this particular person. If you know who this is already, then hopefully it's making sense for you. But I think that's the obstacle, that you have to judge your work, judge your life, judge your success by your own standards, by your own kind of objective viewpoint on this situation. And not in comparison to how much success somebody else has or what their activity level is or what their ambition is. It could be that this person has a lot of irons in the fire right now. That doesn't mean you need to have a lot of irons in the fire. You can have that one good focus, that one good idea, that one purpose, that one plan that you're committed to. You don't need to have a multitude of ideas that you're working on right now, right? It doesn't have to be so diversified right now. It could be in the future, but I think that needs to be based on your own objective analysis and not on your comparison to this person or these other people. Now, this may not be someone that you know right now. You say, oh yeah, that's Bill, I know that guy. This could just represent those people in general that you will come across day to day, strangers, people you know, it doesn't matter, but just random people that you may see are reaching their goals faster. They have more energy, more enthusiasm, more ambition. Maybe they have 30 different projects that they're working on at the same time. But don't worry, that's not you. That doesn't need to be you. So this is just that card that represents how you are comparing yourself to these other people. When it happens, randomly, again, strangers, people you know, it doesn't matter. But the act of comparing yourself to others, I think, is what needs to get past. And getting past that leads us to this Chariot card. Now, this is a great card to end with. Before I saw this card, I was thinking maybe that's going to be our mystery card, is this Chariot, because the Chariot is just completely prepared, ready to go, has everything that they need, has done all of the work leading up to this moment, is ready for the next step, is ready to do things with such commitment to their ideal, to their goal, to their purpose. Right? This Chariot is really taking all of these three cards, your resolve to stay committed to your purpose, your physical commitment to this idea, the idea that's in your mind, the reason why you're doing all of this work, right? And the integrity that you have, that feeling of being in harmony with your purpose, right? And your commitment to this purpose and your commitment to this idea or this belief that you have, whatever this single unified will is in you. And I hope you'll leave me some comments and let me know how this is resonating with you. But these three cards here, all of these elements of your self, of your being, of your soul right now, are really kind of clustered in this Chariot. This is just the perfect alignment of these energies that are ready for anything in the future, ready for any obstacle that may come, ready and completely prepared for the next step, to continue along this path, right? With no fear, no apprehension. But it's going to be slow and it's going to be steady, right? This Chariot can't go 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? But that's okay. Slow and steady is kind of the name of the game here. And this Chariot is also symbolizing your commitment to your own purpose, your own ideals, your own goals, your own higher reality, right? Your own divine energy, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you connect with. This Chariot is all about staying true to that kind of, I don't want to say a traditional path or a traditional way of doing things, but committed to those standards that you have for yourself. Right? And this is the questing knight too, right? The knight that is all about upholding the traditions, upholding the standards, doing what is right, but not in any kind of moralistic sense, but more in terms of what you're committed to, what you believe in, and what is right for you. So you're upholding your own reality, your own standards. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if I'm explaining this properly. Hopefully you understand what I mean. But this is that questing knight. This is that Chariot that is ready for the next step, that is in perfect condition to keep going. But it's, again, the name of the game, slow and steady. And as long as you maintain that commitment to your higher purpose, to your beliefs, your goals, your ideals, your higher power, whatever you believe in, whatever really is this singular purpose, the reason for getting out of bed, what you pray to, basically, in a non-religious way, let's say, okay? Whatever it is that you pray to is this singular idea, and that's giving you the purpose and the motivation to keep going. And that is kind of it's kind of the Excalibur that this knight wields, right? And this is your higher truth, your inner truth and understanding, that singular ideal, that singular idea or commitment that you have. This is the sword, this is the Excalibur that the knight here is wielding on this journey, on this quest, right? And again, slow and steady is the name of the game. Let's look at this confirmation card because I'm rather curious what it could be. Now, I noticed that we didn't have a whole heck of a lot of cup cards. In fact, we only had that knight, or I'm sorry, the prince right here. We only had that prince of cups. So I kind of think that the confirmation card might be something like the Empress. It could be an ace of cups. I think any of the cup cards would be fairly appropriate here, just to kind of emphasize that, there's a lot of activity, a lot of energy and ambition and fire in this reading today in your situation, but there's not really a lot of connection, a lot of bond, a lot of feeling, a lot of joy or satisfaction even that's coming out of this. Right now it's just a lot of fire, a lot of kind of hectic, agitated, nervous kind of energy. So I wonder if we're going to get some kind of a water confirmation here. That's what I would expect. And from my personal point of view, that's what I think is lacking. That's what I think you could possibly benefit from in this situation. But let's find out what it is. Well, we don't have the water, but we do have a 9 of discs. And, you know, I think that maybe the water is going to have to come in the extended version, or maybe even in next week's reading for you. I think this week really is about this fiery energy and getting it under control and using it to start realizing some gains. This is the 9 of discs. This is really the beginning of this foundation. This is that stability, safety, security that you're after. And the 9 of discs is really like the actual coins coming in to fill up your piggy bank. You know what I mean? It's really that income that's started. It's the gains that you're, I mean, if this is a fitness thing, you're going to start seeing the benefits. You're going to start seeing the gains of that. If this is a financial situation, you're going to start seeing the revenue, the income, the rewards, the benefits, the payoff, the paycheck is going to start coming in. And so this, you know, this is a confirmation of this energy. It's not what I was expecting. It's not what I thought personally that you could benefit from here. But again, we're going to look at this in the extended version and see if there is something additional that that might be there for you. I think in terms of some water. So we're going to look at that now. If you want to become a member of this channel, you can click on the link in the description box. I'm sorry this went so long. Please do join me for the extended, though. I'll try to make that pretty short. This was your weekly tarot forecast on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Thank you.